What's up, Deauntae? Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be in the Black Lives Matter CEO.
Yes, absolutely. Black Media Matters, and it does, and we're happy to have you here. So you're running for a big race out there in position. For what position is that out there in Renton?
I'm running for position 7, and yes, I am one of 7. It is a
one of
race.
7.
Yes,
7. Okay, so you've done a lot of community work, but why are you running for this specific position?
I'm running specifically because of my lived experience. From working on the Raise the Wage Renton campaign. We've been knocking doors for 6 months now and talking to community members, and we hear what their struggles are. You know, how much a wage increase will help them, but also how much the cost of living is just holding them back and holding them down. So it inspired me to run, and I want to help community.
Okay. So what are some of your calls to action with running in Renton? Because I mean, some people have called it the redlining district. And there is a big call to action out there when it comes to our impacted folks. So what are some of your calls to action?
Well, one of the biggest personal issues is I've struggled with substance abuse in my past, and I'm seeing the way that the unhoused community is being labeled. And I think that's unfair, but also I think there's incredible opportunity with the missing middle bill and the funds coming from the Washington state budget and the IRA to actually start to have impact and changes people's circumstance. So I want to focus on bringing treatment options, building housing, and delivering it to the people.
Delivering it to the people. That sounds really good. So throughout the spaces of running, I do work with an organization called CDU, Communal Expert Advisors on Drug Use. And one of the questions that Tyrone Williams wanted to ask was, I believe it's, what resources would you try to provide for community members post-treatment?
Well, there's a multiple, but I think the biggest thing is getting people solid treatment programs to make sure that they're going to get the most and have the best possibility for success. But then coming out of that, we need to have housing options that are available and not always just tied to like costs, because especially if you're caught up in the prosecution system, you're most likely going to have some kind of charges on your jacket, and it's going to limit your options for like public housing and things. So we need to break down those barriers so people can actually have an opportunity for success while they're coming out of probably what was the hardest part of their life.
In running to this, how important is, as a person also in recovery, how important is it for you to be of the lived experience to be in this position?
Well, I think it's critical personally, because in the conversation about people struggling with substance abuse, you always hear about like personal accountability and how they just need to try harder, do better, but that's not recognizing the impacts that are designed in the system to make it harder. Like I was just speaking about, if you have criminal record, you're blocked from SNAP programs, you're blocked from housing, you're blocked from labor in a lot of places where jobs will exclude you because they don't want to deal with that issue. And we need to change that, because how are you going to be successful if you're removed from all the safety net of society?
That's a really good point. You know, and as we keep going, I just want you to do us a favor for about a minute and a half. If you could just look into that camera and tell the Renton community members why it's important to go out there and vote tomorrow for you.
First of all, Michael Westgard, position 7, but the #1 most important thing for everybody out there, remember, August 1st is primary day, and it is important just to vote. I want your vote, but just vote either way. And King County Elections can register you and print you a ballot up until tomorrow afternoon. So you have an opportunity to vote, even if you're not registered. But I think I'm the best candidate in this race because I want to deliver and work for the people. I have been a labor rights activist and a member of community throughout my life, but focused in the last 7 years on trying to change people's living stances, living situations, by increasing their wage capability and getting them protections on the job so they have an opportunity to find success and not be encumbered by the structural racism in the system.
And you said that. I appreciate you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Michael, and wishing you the best of luck tomorrow. Y'all need to be going out.